Less than half the money set aside in a government fund to support businesses affected by the closure of State Highway 1 following the Kaikoura earthquake has been spent. The Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment says just under $400,000 of the $1 million available has been given to 18 businesses in the area, including 3 in the Hurunui District. This comes as quake-affected businesses call for more details around the reopening of the highway north of Kaikoura, which is expected before Christmas. Maya Barry, who's been doing really good work on this, reports.
This is all our wool and our samples and knitting patterns. What else have we got? Quilts, quilt displays.
Rachel Penny is showing me around her Kaikoura craft and souvenir store, A Patch of Country. She's lived in Kaikoura all her life and has been running the store for more than a decade. But Ms Penny's business has suffered since November's quake brought slips down onto State Highway 1 and forced the closure of the main tourist route between Picton and Christchurch.
Sales have probably gone down 70%, I would say, since the road's been closed. I mean, we do get a lot of locals, but we rely on the tourist trade in the summertime, which we didn't have. So we've had like 3 winters in a row.
In May, the government rolled out a $1 million business recovery grant program intended to offer financial assistance to affected businesses while the road is closed. Figures provided by the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment show 18 businesses in Kaikoura have received money, while 15, including Ms Penny, have had their applications declined. Ms Penny says trying to pay the bills and keep stock up has now become too difficult.
Well, I've made the decision to close after 12 years. We applied for the government subsidy but were refused, so yeah, I've had to pull the pin.
Ms Penny says her application was declined because last year her business ran at a loss, but she doesn't agree with the call.
No, I don't reckon it is fair because, I mean, you're supporting the locals by being here, and I mean, yeah, you may not have made any money that year, but yeah, no, I think it should be broader than that.
MB's Manager for Enterprise and Policy, Carl Woodhead, says to be eligible for the grant, businesses have to meet a range of criteria, including proving they were viable pre-quake. Mr Woodhead says $17 million has already been spent helping businesses through a different wage subsidy package. He says it isn't concerning that more than half of the money allocated to the Business Recovery Grant program remains unspent.
What I'm relying on is the assessment panel making a decision about whether the business should be receiving the funding based on the criteria that's been set.
One business that has benefited from the grant is Encounter Kaikoura, which runs boat tours for people to swim with dolphins and watch other wildlife. Its co-owner, Lynette Berman, says before the quake at least half of their customers came from through traffic from the highway, and the disaster had cost them millions of dollars. Ms Berman says she's worried that when State Highway 1 north of Kaikoura does reopen, there will still be on and off closures of the road due to repair work and adverse weather, which could confuse tourists.
We have a real concern about that. We're just trying to get some certainty around what we can expect because we invest heavily in our marketing efforts and the messaging we're putting out there is being challenged all the time.
The Transport Agency says it is on track to have the road reopened by Christmas, but it can't yet provide an exact date or say what access will be like. For Checkpoint, Maya Barry.